Hey, YouTube friends and family. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. I wanted to touch on a topic. It's not really my area of expertise, I guess is how we could put it. I'm not an accountant, I'm not a banker. You know, those really aren't my forte. But you know, as small business owners, we have to wear multiple hats, and sometimes banking and accounting and legal, all that ends up on our lap, right? So I wanted to talk about PPP. I got a call the other day from a guy who used to drive for me, and he found out I was putting trucks over the road and that kind of thing. So we chit-chatted a little bit about, you know, him coming back on, and in fact, I think in one of the other videos I mentioned I was meeting with him. One of the things he mentioned is that he was not in a real big pressured hurry to get in a truck. I told him, hey man, well I'm working on a couple. I've already got some that are assigned. You know, I may not have anything soon. And he's like, hey, well don't worry. He says, I got PPP money. And I'm like, your employer's gonna be paying you for a while? And he's like, no. He says, you know, I know you did that last year with a lot of your drivers. He says, the guy I was working for paid me as a 1099 independent contractor, and I was able to apply through that 1099. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought that was interesting. And I asked him, I'm like, so I said, in my case, you know, I went to the bank and, you know, they asked of me, you know, lots of documentation, 940s, 941s, tax returns, you know, proof that I had legitimately that kind of payroll. More importantly, they wanted to see that we had taken taxes out and paid them, because that was the proof to match the payroll amount that we claimed. Our payrolls are pretty high. Our payroll for the oil field, you know, I'm not trying to like brag, but you know, with 20 trucks, our payroll numbers were more than some companies. What am I trying to say? Some companies don't gross the amount that we were doing in payroll. I guess that's I complicated the sentence halfway through it, couldn't get it out. And so our numbers were kind of big. And so they wanted to see quarterly tax filings, you know, showing that we paid taxes on that money, and that we in fact did do, you know, almost $2 million in payroll for 2019. And so I asked him, I'm like, so was it hard? And he's like, no. He goes, I walked into the bank to make a deposit, and you know, one of the little chicas that works there said, hey, you know, have you considered a PPP loan? And he said, man, I didn't even know what PPP meant. He goes, I thought she was talking about PPE. Anyways, so long story short, they took his amounts that he was 1099 for and put it through the system the same way they do companies with payroll. So they took his annual pay and divided it by 12 and multiplied it by 1.2. And so he's going to get that. I believe the only caveat is he cannot claim unemployment in that time. That was one of the things they did look at hours, that our employees didn't go and file for unemployment at the same time that we were paying them PPP money. Anyway, so the reason for the video is I know many of you are looking at, especially Amazon, and it's going to be a new venture, and you've never done trucking, and I know I've kind of been a little hard on you guys, but this really isn't for you guys that have never even driven a truck. This is for the person that maybe has been driving for someone, whether you're an owner-operator or you're a driver being paid with straight checks and you get a 1099 in the end. This is for you guys. And the reason and the logic behind it is your 1099 will qualify you. It'll qualify you to get this money. So the government considers you a business, and I don't believe you have to have an LLC or anything like that, because this kid doesn't. The 1099 alone, from what he told me, qualified him. And so those of you that are already drivers and you're on the fence now about, do I jump in, get my own truck? Do I go chase Amazon? And this isn't me advocating for Amazon, but if your idea is you're gonna buy a truck, open up your own authority, and try and run under Amazon or for Amazon because they'll take your authority when it's brand new, and you don't want to this person crowded the lane over. You can't afford to sit for 3 to 6 months until brokers will start using you, is what I'm trying to get out. But that person moved into my lane and I had to focus my attention on them. So now all of a sudden, if you'll get PPP, guys, and you get yourself 10 grand or whatever out of PPP, you can put that in your bank and start paying yourself a payroll out of it, draw from it, if you will, and you consume all of it in the time that they allot. Well, in the meantime, if you bought your truck and you start running, you bank the money that would have gone towards you and paying your bills personally. You use that PPP money for you, and you allow your new business to kind of build a little bit more of a reserve quicker. And in that case, taking some of the cheaper loads until you're able to get on the preferred list, performance list, whatever you call it, or you're able to get off of Amazon and chase something a little bit better. That's payroll money to help you get started, guys. So I'm not sure I really made a whole lot of sense, because I've had a few things happen as I'm driving, and I take my focus off my sentences. But the long and short of it, if you've been getting paid as a 1099 through 2019 or 2020, you may qualify for some money from the PPP program. And I strongly recommend you try it. Don't go to one of those referral services where you fill out information on an app and then they send it to multiple banks and they charge you a fee. You can do the same thing and go to multiple banks yourself and get the loan you want. It's illegal for a bank to charge you a fee, a commission, or anything like that. Your loan is going to be your loan. Whatever you qualify for is exactly what will go into the bank. When I was first told that, I was a little skeptical. I'm kind of a skeptical individual. But to the penny, the amount that my application was done, it was based on the math that, was set forth on my application due to what my payroll numbers were. And hot damn, man, if I didn't get that money, and in our case, it's quite a bit. Our payroll for 19 was, pretty close to $2 million. And so, yeah, and I'm getting that again. I'm hoping in the next week or two to have that in the bank. and I'm going to use it just like I'm describing you guys should use it. I'm going to be able to hire back, you know, a couple mechanics, have them go through some trucks that are just sitting. I'm going to put my drivers on a guaranteed salary, regardless to what they bring home. And the money that I would have paid for their salary, I'm going to be able to sock away, and you can do that absolutely legally. PPP pays the payroll, and you get to keep the rest. I think I phrased that incorrectly, but the money that comes in from the work we do, I don't have to pay payroll from it, is what I should say. I misphrased it there where it kind of sounded like I'm going to stick the PPP money in my pocket. That's it, guys. I'm not an expert on this topic. I've done a PPP loan before. I'm doing another one. We are in the process of getting our first one forgiven. It does look like everything's in line for it to be forgiven. We spent way more than the 65% they were requiring. I want to say we were close to 80%. I really did look at that program as it was intended, which is put money in employees' pockets. And so we were like 80%. 80% of our loan went to the payroll, and the rest of it was definitely spent on business expenses. The drawback for us is back then we did not have work, so it's not like I was generating revenue plus they were covering my payroll. This year's a little different. This year I do have trucks running, and I'm gonna kind of run everything side by side, payroll out of PPP, and the trucking will kind of stash what would have been payroll and build our reserves even more. That's the goal. For those of you that are looking to start, I think that could be a good little pocket filler there. Put a little money in your pocket, pay yourself that money over the next 12 weeks, and whatever revenue you generate, you know, from wherever, if you're starting your business, you know, you can build up a reserve, or you can you know, use it towards costs that are so much heavier when you first start, you know, insurance, obviously, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this because I don't think I have much more to say. Like I say, it's not really a topic I was ready to. I want to share it, but I didn't have like bullet points and anything like that to run it around. Just wanted to plant the bug in your guys' ears. If you want to ask me a question about it and I know the answer, I'll do my best to answer down in the comments. If your question's probably going to be beyond my realm of knowledge. If you guys want, go check out a page, a channel called JJ the CPA. He's done several videos on PPP. I think compared to most CPAs, JJ's got charisma. He talks in layman's terms so we can understand it. I enjoy watching his channel because I don't feel like I should have stayed in school when he talks. He breaks things down in a good way, and you know, with some of the other CPAs, I gotta Google search sometimes what they're saying. But anyways, guys, check his page out, or his channel out. Look into PPP if you think you qualify. If you got 1099, that may be all you need. Check it out, and good luck with it. And as always, thanks for watching.